Well, that was surprising. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my media and vlogging channel, or at my failed journalist channel, which this is primarily going to be for, but I think this covers a couple of topics, so therefore, two channels it is. I am your host, Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and if this is your first time here at any of these channels and you want to see more videos like this, because you like videos like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification for, well, notifications on when we upload new videos. So anyway, the movie theater business has been a little chaotic the last year, and that would be an understatement. We had this whole COVID thing, and theaters have had to be closed most of the year, and they were finally allowed to reopen, but then Christopher Nolan's Tenet, the movie that was supposed to usher in movie theater going back, welcome people back to the theaters and bring it back in a legitimate way, did not do as well as studios would have wanted. Warner Brothers themselves admitted they weren't completely happy with Tenet, and as a result, James Bond got delayed, Black Widow got delayed, so many movies got delayed, and as more and more movies get delayed, and the fact that all these companies start having their own streaming services, the question starts to become, how long can they sit on these movies, and when do they start going to streaming platforms? Now, there are talks of, right now, Black Widow going to Disney+, and even though I still lean towards they probably won't do that because that's a potential billion-dollar film, I actually agree with, John Campea. There is some sense to be made for that happening. Likewise, a lot of people are talking about how Wonder Woman would probably head to HBO Max. There were two things that were being discussed, and being rumored at the very least. One was that Wonder Woman would still keep its theatrical release, its December 25th theatrical release, and it would then go to HBO Max in 2 weeks. The other thing that was rumored was that it would simply be delayed till June or July. Of the two, I personally believed the latter was going to happen. Instead, Warner Brothers, or Warner Media, I guess as it's now called, pulled a very surprising move because they have announced that Wonder Woman 1984 will be heading to HBO Max and movie theaters on December 25th. So what's going on? And is this Warner Brothers showing that they have no confidence in the movie theater business anymore? No. I mean, even though I think this is a strange move for them to be making, I probably would have personally delayed it if it was up to me. I actually think this might show a little bit more confidence in the movie theaters than we realize. But let's look at the article and see exactly what's being said. So, with a second wave of COVID-19 impacting many parts of the globe, including California, because we can't go to the movie theaters again, Wonder Woman 1984 is changing course yet again. The tentpole is all but giving up on a traditional theatrical release and will instead bow in whatever cinemas remain open December 25th, as well as streaming on HBO Max in the U.S. for 1 month beginning on Christmas Day. In international markets where HBO Max is not available, the film starts rolling out December 16th. Now, Patty Jenkins says, at some point you have to choose to share any love and joy you have to give over everything else. We love our movie as we love our fans, so we truly hope that our film brings a little bit of joy and reprieve to all of you this holiday season. Jenkins urged audiences to watch the $200 million tentpole in theaters where it was safe to do so, and on HBO Max where it is not. In a note echoing Jenkins, star Gal Gadot added, "It wasn't an easy decision, and we never thought we'd have to hold on to the release for such a long time, but COVID rocked all our worlds. Growing the number of HBO Max consumers is of huge importance to Time Warner." I don't think it's called Time Warner anymore. "Even if it means giving up on potential box office ticket sales that Wonder Woman 1984 would have earned had it been pushed to sometime in 2021. The hope is that a high-profile Christmas Day title, such as a superhero sequel, will lure new subscribers. HBO Max is pricier than most other streaming services, $15. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar seemed to be laying out expectations in a blog post Wednesday in which he noted that roughly 4 million people watched the first Wonder Woman in the U.S. on opening day in 2017. Quote, "It is possible for that to happen again this Christmas with Wonder Woman 1984 between theaters and HBO Max." Is it possible for that to happen again this Christmas with Wonder Woman 1984 between theaters and HBO Max? We are so excited to find out, doing everything in our power to provide the power of choice to the fans. Keeping some semblance of a theatrical release on Christmas Day also provides comfort for cinemas who are open at the time, whether domestically or internationally. Many hundreds of theaters across the US and Europe are reclosing amid a surge of COVID-19 cases. At the same time, the China and Japan box office have rebounded in a major way. Now, of course, this is important. In normal times, theater chains would never carry a major studio tentpole that was debuting simultaneously at home, but in this case, all bets are off. Cinema owners have plenty of goodwill toward Warner Brothers after the studio stuck to a late summer release date for Christopher Nolan's Tenet, despite the challenges facing the box office amid the novel coronavirus pandemic. And by the way, they didn't pump Wonder Woman. In fact, that's going to be important. So, Ann Saronoff, CEO of Warner Media Studios and Network Group, said, "As we navigate these unprecedented times, we've had to be innovative in keeping our businesses moving forward while continuing to super serve our fans. This is an amazing film that really comes to life on the big screen, and working with our partners in the exhibition community, we will provide that option to consumers in the US where theaters are open. We realize that a lot of consumers can't go back to the movies due to the pandemic, so we also want to give them the option to see Wonder Woman 1984 via our HBO Max platform," added Warner Brothers chairman. Actually, here's Killer's full statement. Here's his full statement, and like I said, when I read the statement, I actually believe that this move actually is more in favor to the movie theaters than you might realize. So anyway, today we have announced that Wonder Woman 1984, the eagerly anticipated tentpole film by Patty Jenkins, is going to be released in theaters on December 25th. In the United States, we will also be making this remarkable movie available on HBO Max at no extra cost the same day that Wonder Woman 1984 premieres in theaters for the first month of the film's release. For a movie of this scale, this is unprecedented, given that we wanted to share some context. There are many things that factor into a decision like this. 1, the pandemic. 2, our belief in the theatrical experience, and to that end, the importance of exhibitors. 3, our mission to be strong and supportive partners to Patty, Gal, producer Chuck Rovner, and the entire Wonder Woman 1984 team. And finally, which is 5, the fans, which is where important decisions like this should always start and should always end. We are, of course, in an extraordinary moment. This entails a patchwork of regulations, geographic considerations, and most importantly, fan preferences. With that in mind, we see an opportunity to do something firmly focused on the fans, give them the power to choose between going to their local cinema or opening on HBO Max. Super fans will likely choose both. I actually agree. In fact, I'm going to tell you I might do this. This incredible movie will be available both ways in the US on the exact same day. If you are fortunate to live in a place where theaters are open, we believe we are offering a great option given the cinema safe protocols our partners have put in place. With this, exhibitors are offering a movie-going experience with social distancing, masks, cleaning, and ventilation protocols. On the other hand, if you and your family prefer to stay in and make your own popcorn this holiday, we want to share the experience of Wonder Woman 1984 with you the exact same day on HBO Max. It's your decision to make. We are committed to the theatrical experience, and we believe giving exhibitors a movie of this nature is important right now. We believe in theaters because hundreds of millions of fans around the world value going to the movies. And for as long as fans seek out the theatrical experience, we will be there to serve them with great movies in partnership with exhibitors. Collectively, the fans get to decide these things as they should. Getting back to Wonder Woman 1984, we believe this decision will bring several benefits. The first and most important benefit is to the fans in the form of unprecedented choice from day one. The second benefit is to the exhibitors, providing an eagerly anticipated movie at a much-needed time while they take precautions in their operations. Finally, we believe that our creative partners and ourselves will benefit from this decision in the form of fan response both theatrically and via HBO Max in the US. I find it fascinating that we will be measuring the performance of this movie in an entirely new way. To use a line from The Wizard of Oz, we're not in Kansas anymore, another Warner Brothers movie. While we will pay attention to theatrical revenues, our expectations are clearly adjusted due to COVID-19. In parallel, we will be paying close attention to the numbers of families and fans diving into HBO Max, as we certainly anticipate that a portion of fans will choose to enjoy Wonder Woman 1984 that way on opening day and beyond. To provide a comparable, a little over 4 million fans in the U.S. enjoyed the first Wonder Woman movie on its opening day in 2017. Is it possible for that to happen again this Christmas with Wonder Woman 1984 between theaters and HBO Max? I think easily. We are so excited to find out, doing everything in our power to provide the power of choice to fans. Many of us could use an uplifting story this holiday season. We think we have that and more in Wonder Woman 1984. We believe audiences are going to love every minute of this great movie this holiday season, and we are looking forward to sharing it in this unprecedented way. Jason Killer, Warner Media CEO. Now, here's why, and I think Killer's memo really summed it up. This is important. Because you know what? One of the things that they have to release this movie, it's building interest. For the longer they delay it, the more interest they pay. And, they do have a streaming service that would benefit from a Wonder Woman 1984. Make no mistake, HBO Max will gain a lot of subscribers. They might gain millions of subscribers for people who just want to watch Wonder Woman 1984. At the same time, the theaters have been making it pretty clear, almost annoyingly so public, because that they really need Wonder Woman 1984 to come out on Christmas Day. They don't have a whole lot else to show. The Croods will probably be on digital by Christmas as well. They will need a Wonder Woman 1984. Now, some of people might say, well, why don't they put Wonder Woman in theaters for 2 weeks first and then put it on streaming? I thought about that because it kind of seems counterproductive, but here's the thing. Wonder Woman isn't like The Croods or News at the End of the World, that new Tom Hanks movie, whatever it's called. It's not like Mank. It's not like The Trial of Chicago 7. It's not like Over the Moon. Wonder Woman is a balls-to-the-wall theatrical experience in the same way that Tenet was. Anyone who sees a movie like Wonder Woman 1984, if their first time is seeing it on a TV screen, and if it's good, mind you, I don't know if it's any good, then what they're going to do is they're going to think, man, I wish I'd seen that in theaters. I mean, I don't know if I've shared this story before, but believe it or not, the first time I saw The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, was on VHS. I know. Hear me out. I didn't see the movie in theaters because despite the praise, despite the good reviews, despite my friends seeing it multiple times, despite all those Oscar nominations, my previous experience with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit had been the terrible animated movies, and I didn't like it very much. So one day, there was a VHS tape there. Neighbor hadn't quite upgraded to DVD yet. Decided, what the heck, we'll watch it. And the only thing I could think of while watching that movie was I made a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I should have seen this in theaters. And I made sure to see the next two in theaters. And then, of course, DVD, Blu-ray, and all that jazz. Well, here's the thing. There are some I think, given the choice, most fans will choose to see this in theaters. Now, some people might be cheap. They don't care about the theatrical experience. They'll watch it at home. But you know what? If it's good, and I suspect it will be good, even if you watch it at home, you might go like, this was really good. I would like to experience this in theaters because I think that's where it would be a good place to go. So Warner Brothers does get to test out to see if a big movie like this will drive people to subscribe to HBO Max. Spoiler alert, it will. I'm just not convinced it's going to do, I think for a big budget movie to really work on a streaming platform, it needs to convince like 20 to 30 million people to subscribe to HBO Max, at least. They're not going to get that. But it gives them a chance to drive subscribers to their platform and let them know that it's there. At the same time, it gives the fans who really would want to see it on the big screen a chance to see it on the big screen. It tells the theatrical exhibitors that they are still on their side. And by the way, Warner Brothers has done more for the theaters than any other company. Trust me, they don't owe the theaters anything, but they're still doing it because they still believe in the theatrical experience. Yes, they have a streaming platform. Yes, they want to build it. no, streaming is not going to replace theatrical. You can't replace that revenue. And so Warner Brothers wants to let the theaters know that. And I do believe that people who watch it on streaming first will probably watch it in theaters as well. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters or streaming first because, frankly, California's closed. California is closed again, pretty much. So, who knows? I might, December 25th is still over a month away. Maybe Governor Newsom will loosen up a little bit. I don't know. So I might have to see Wonder Woman 1984 on streaming first, but I can guarantee you I will be seeing it in theaters the second I get a chance, provided the movie's good. If the movie's not good, well then, I don't know. But I am still going to put the priority on seeing this movie in theaters, and I think a lot of people will too. And I think people who watch it at home will probably enjoy it enough that once the opportunity comes around to see it in theaters, they will probably want to see it in theaters as well. And there's one more thing that this is going to do for Warner Brothers that you might not see. Yes, we know that Universal has been making deals with AMC and Cinemark to shorten the theatrical release window. But here's the thing. Warner Brothers released Tenet to try to bring moviegoers back to theaters. Warner Brothers put Wonder Woman in theaters on the same day that they put it on streaming. They're the only studio that's seriously doing anything to help the theater business out right now. And the theater industry will remember that. And when it recovers, that's going to be important. When there is a Warner Brothers tentpole and a Universal tentpole coming out at the same time, guess who's going to get those premium IMAX screens and Dolby Cinemas? Warner Brothers. Because Universal didn't help out the movie theaters. Heck, they started the trend of moving theaters to streaming and then shortened the window, which even though the theaters in desperate times are taking that deal, they know that's going to hurt them in the long run. What about Disney? Sorry, if Warner Brothers has a tentpole and Disney has a tentpole, Warner Brothers gets it. Because Disney didn't help out the movie theaters. They actually almost completely destroyed the fall movie season by delaying Black Widow, Death in the Nile. They sent Artemis Fowl to streaming, even though that probably wouldn't have made any money. And Soul, one of the movies that genuinely could have brought people into the theaters, well, that's going to Disney Plus. Free of charge. Never mind the whole Mulan fiasco. So, this is both investing in the streaming platform while also staying invested in the movie theaters and probably building a better partnership with the movie theaters. I think in 2 years, when this is all behind us, and we have, let's say that there is a Disney Marvel movie coming out, and Warner Brothers has a major motion picture. Maybe they have, I don't know, a reboot of The Golden Compass or something like that, or they have a Wonder Woman 3. Guess which movie the theaters will push on their biggest and best screens, because they're going to remember the movie company that helped them out during the pandemic. So I think this is a strange move. I mean, again, if I was in Warner Brothers' position, I'd probably just delay it. But I think this is an interesting way where Warner Brothers can have their cake and eat it too. They can encourage people to subscribe to HBO Max while still keep their investments in the movie theater and in fact build a better relationship with the theatrical exhibition chains moving forward. But anyway, I would like to know what you think about this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.